What's going on, guys? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure, and today it's Ask Me 20.
Mountain Man
Treasures.
Welcome into the channel, guys. My name is Troy. I'm a part-time reseller based out of Helena, Montana. I work at a radio station in the mornings into the early afternoon. Then when I get off, it's time for me to go and check out garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, and then make YouTube videos about the stuff that I turn around and sell on eBay. And Jenn reached out. There she is right there. She reached out and said, hey, would you be interested in doing this thing that I'm doing? I said, yeah, I think it'll be fun. It's the Ask Me 20. There's multiple channels doing this. 20 reseller-related questions. I've got all the other channels listed down below in the description. So go over, check out some of them younger channels, some maybe you haven't heard of before. So go check them out. You might find somebody that you really enjoy. There are a lot of great YouTubers out there telling you about reselling. They all have various niches, and you might find somebody that you enjoy through this challenge. So I think that's really cool, and I'm excited to go through these. Now, I've printed out the 20 questions. I have not read them yet. I've been really busy this week, and I thought, you know what? We're just going to do it live. This is going to be Mountain Man Unfiltered. We're going to see if I can't just do this in one take. I mean, as real as alive as you can get. It's plausibly live, like the Olympics, right? So we'll just jump right in, and I'll start going down, and we'll start answering these questions. I don't want to make this video too long. The first one, how long have you been reselling? I think we are now about 3 years in. So not that long, but longer than a lot of folks that I find are watching the channel. There's a lot of very new resellers watching the channel. So I think right about 3 years now, we've been reselling. And then the YouTube part is working on 2 years of doing that. That's not a question. That's just a bonus. Number two, is your business part-time or full-time? Well, I guess I already answered that one without realizing. Yeah, it's part-time. I put probably more hours into it than like your typical part-time job. I probably push full-time hours some weeks. But yeah, definitely a part-time job. Right now, we're using eBay to pay off debt, student loan primarily at this point. We paid off medical bills. I paid off my student loans last year, and now we're working on paying off my wife's student loans. And I think maybe by the end of the year, we're going to be really close if we don't make it, though. I also threw a car into the mix. We recently got a car. We put half down and paid for that with eBay money, and now eBay is going to be paying the monthly payments for that. So that'll be paid off by the end of the year, and we'll have a new car paid for by eBay. So yeah, it's part-time, but I definitely put a lot of work into it because I'm using it to do things that we would not have ordinarily been able to do. Number three, do you work on this business alone or with other family members or employees? I mean, officially, yeah, it's alone, right? Like I'm the one that's listing. I'm the one that is packing, shipping, all of that. But I don't think you ever truly do anything alone, right? I mean, my family comes with me. My wife will come with me. My daughter will come with me time to time to thrift stores or garage sales. Not all the time. You know, they have to work themselves up to being willing to get up that early on a Saturday, which I totally get. But I actually get to sleep in on Saturday and still getting up early. My day job, I'm usually getting up about 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm used to getting up early. It's not a big deal, so I don't mind it. So officially, yes, I'm by myself, but with an asterisk. And then past that, if you play out the string, I think I've got you. You know, we've got a lot of folks, especially, you know, when I put the garage sale videos, people say, hey, you missed this, or hey, you should have done this. We can all learn from each other. We're all doing this together, even if you're doing it by yourself, if that makes any sense. I got deep thoughts with Mountain Man. What platforms do you resell on is number four. Right now it's eBay. And every once in a while I'll do the Facebook thing. I don't do well with local flips, so it doesn't work very well here for a lot of stuff. Now, for some things, we had a TV. I put that on there, and that flipped quick for $50. That was just an old one that was ours and we moved out. That sort of stuff will sell, but a lot of things won't sell. So I do eBay. Now I have done Poshmark. That was actually, I think, the first account I set up was Poshmark because of how easy it was. I didn't really love it, so we got out of that. I've done Mercari. I still have a few listings up on there, and we sell things on there time to time, but not much. I had an Etsy shop. I think I sold one thing on Etsy, just never gained traction, didn't like it. I thought about Amazon, but you know what? Ultimately, this is part-time, so I don't want to spread myself too thin. I'm not cross-posting. I only have so much time, so I'm just focusing right now on eBay. Maybe one day, if and or when I go full-time, I would enjoy, I think, but we can't do that until definitely a little bit more financially stable. We got money in the bank. I can breathe when I have weeks like last week when things just weren't selling. I can't do that right now. So I think maybe eventually I'll branch out and start doing multiple platforms, but right now, eBay. Looking at the next one, what type of items do you resell? Well, let me just tell you what I just packed up. I literally just finished packing up the things that have come in today so far. I packed up a Harley Davidson jacket. I packed up two vintage hats, went to the same buyer. I packed up a cassette tape, let's see, an old Xbox game, and I'm looking over there. What else? Oh, a vintage single stitch t-shirt. So that is a pretty good example of what I sell. I sell a little bit of everything, especially part-time. I don't get to be like the full-time folks here are in the thrift stores multiple times a day. They hit one, they hit the other, then they go back to the one they were just at to see what new stuff was put out. So a lot of the obvious stuff, a lot of the high dollar stuff is gone before I ever have a chance to get there. Now, garage sales even the playing field a little bit, but, I have to learn how to look and how to dig and find things that maybe people don't think about. If I had to narrow it down at all, I would say I sell vintage. I love picking up vintage things. I love selling things that bring memories back for people. I think that's really, really cool. And so that's the thing that I enjoy the most. Now, if I find something new in the package that's modern and sells well, yeah, I'll do it. But I prefer selling the vintage stuff. Moving down, number 7. What method or methods do you use to source your goods? Well, I mentioned it. The thrift stores, right? Garage sales, estate sales. I go over to Mr. Buys a Lot. I actually just bought a lot of non-sports cards from Brian over at Mr. Buys a Lot today. He does online YouTube auctions, and I've gotten some great stuff from him. So I do that. Every once in a while I do online, like high bid type auctions. I haven't had great luck with Shop Goodwill, though some people really do. I think I just don't have the patience to look through all the listings to find the gems that are in there. But you can do that. I just don't typically do that. So I enjoy garage sales the most. That's where I enjoy, and I think that's where you get your biggest ROI is from garage sales. Now we're going to hit pause as I scratch my nose. But I told you I was going to do this one cut, so we'll just keep that thing in there. What is your average profit per item? It really varies. That's not something that I focus on. I'm not somebody that goes into a situation saying, well, I have to make 5 times my money, or I have to make at least $25, or, whatever metric you want to use. I basically pick up something that's going to make me money. And whether or not I pick it up is a little bit based on the time involved, right? Again, part-time. So I have to get this in where I can. So I try to streamline as much as I can. And that means picking up stuff that's easy to list, easy to store, and easy to ship. And so that is more what I look at is how easy is this front to back? How much time is going to be involved? Do I have to clean it? Do I have to, how much time am I putting into this? And then is it worth it? Is it worth my time investment? That's how I look at it. So I think my average, if I actually ran the numbers, it probably hovers around $20 because I do find some higher dollar things, but I also sell a lot of stuff for $10 free shipping, right? So I would guess that I sit right around that $20 range. What is your average cost per item? I mean, I'm cheap. I like picking things up for $1, and you can do that at garage sales. But, you know, I'll also pick up something for 25 bucks if I know I can sell it for 100. So I guess I can't really answer that question because it's across the board. You know, recently I was buying Barbies for $120, $150, but that's because I knew they would sell for 300, right? So it really depends on the item. It's just, I have to be smart about the size, the time, the sell-through, all of that stuff. Size, because I have a limited space. I'm working out of my garage here, so I can't be bringing home a lot of bulky items. How many items do you currently have in inventory for the various platforms? I'm sitting right now, I didn't check the number before this because, like I said, didn't read the question, but I am sitting, last I looked, it was 833. Now, one sec, I'm getting a drink here. Once again, we'll just let it keep running. I generally hover between about 775 and 825, like right in that ballpark. 800 is sort of my happy medium. I can't have really too many because then I'm too busy. You know, it's one of those situations where I actually can't sell too much because I would not have time to pack it all. And so I'm really happy with sitting right about 800. That seems to get me pretty steady sales and enough where I can keep up with them, if that makes sense. What is your daily sold out of your total inventory? It depends on the day. Like right now, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 items in one. So, you know, right now it's, I guess, 6 items have sold, though it's still got a lot, you know, what time is it? It's like 4:30 when I'm doing this. So plenty of time for more things to sell. I would say I usually sell between 6 and 8 in that ballpark on a good day. Let's just say 6 is probably a good guess at an average. If you're selling on eBay, do you utilize promoted listings and promotions? I do. I promote pretty much everything. Now, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll list stuff. I'll promote it all at one time. I'll list stuff. If I go to garage sales on a Saturday, I pick up all the stuff and I list as much of it as I can. I'm trying to make it a point to do that this year so that I don't build the death pile too high with stuff that I didn't get listed. I just try to make Saturday, I just push really hard and get a lot of stuff listed out of the stuff that I just picked up. I'll let that sit for a week, 2 weeks, something like that. I don't promote stuff right away, typically, because they do take out a portion of your sale, right? So if it's going to sell without being promoted, that'd be nice. So a lot of times what I will do is let it go for about a week or 2 weeks, and then I go in and look at all the things that I can promote. That's on your Seller Hub. You can look at your listings that are eligible to promote. So I'll go in and do that once a week or so, and I sort by the number of views, a number of watchers. And if it's got several watchers already, obviously people are finding it. I don't need to, maybe I don't even necessarily need to promote it, but it's still sitting around after a couple of weeks, so we're going to do it. I just don't promote it really high because people are already finding it. So a lot of times with that stuff, I'll go in and I'll promote it at like 1.3% because there's a lot of people that'll promote at 1% or 1.1 to get ahead of those 1.0 people. I'm just going to get ahead of all of them, but still not promote very high because I want to save as much of that, much of the proceeds as I can. So I'll go in and promote the stuff that's being found already, about 1.3%. And then the other stuff that's getting views but no watchers or that's not getting any views, I'll just, you know, I just promote it at whatever their recommended number is. Maybe that's not the smart thing to do, but I make so many sales off of promoted listings. Yeah, you lose a little bit in the end, but it's helping with that turnover. And I'm good selling more stuff more quickly. And my margins, when I'm paying, you know, a quarter for something that sells for 20 bucks, I can handle giving eBay another $2. You know, I don't, you know, people are like, well, eBay just wants more money. Well, sure they do. They're a business. But we're in their playground. You know, we're in their sandbox. We got to play by their rules. And if you want to get seen, you got to pay $2, you know, or whatever the percentage works out to. I don't mind that. You can go and list on your own website. That's fine. Nobody's going to find it. That's normally where I'd cut, right? And then move on to the next one. This is weird doing a single take thing. Now I lost my spot. Okay, number 13. If you're on Poshmark, do you share your closet on a regular basis? That's why I left Poshmark. I took all my stuff down. It was, for me, especially part-time, I found that I was wasting time sharing my closet. The way that Poshmark works, if you're not aware, it's a social media selling platform. They want you to be in there constantly sharing. The way things in there work. Okay, so I list the Harley jacket that I sold on eBay today. I list my Harley jacket on Poshmark. Now, it's going to show up, and all the people that follow me, it's going to show up in their feed. A lot. I don't think a lot of stuff sells that way. That's window shopping. That's if somebody's on and go, ooh, I like that, and they buy it. That's impulse buying. That's a portion of Poshmark. But more of their sales come through the search function. So how does that work? Well, if I just put it up, it's going to be at the very top. If I list it as white women's Harley jacket, USA flag #1. All, keywords on there. That's going to pop up right on the top if they search for something similar to that. Now, what happens if I don't share it? Well, the next person that lists something similar is going to move above me on the list, and then the next and the next and the next and so on. So it constantly pushes you down. Now, if I share it, it hops back up. It's at the top of the list. So the only way that you can keep your stuff at the top of the list on Poshmark is to consistently share it. Otherwise, you're going to get buried by other people's stuff. Now, they still might end up picking yours, but when they search for it, yours is going to be way down at the bottom of the listings, and people are going to have to click through to find it. So that's how you're successful on Poshmark, is to consistently share your closet. And so I couldn't do that. I'd rather use that time sort of mindlessly sharing everything. I'd rather use that on eBay to list 5 new things. That's how I look at it. Number 14, if you do so, do you think this helps with the amount of sales you receive? Yes. That's the only way. And now if somebody else shares your item, it will show up in all of the people that follow them. It'll show up in their feed, but it does not bump it up the list. The only way to bump your items up the search results list is to share it yourself. So there you go. That's another little tidbit there for you, since I guess I already answered number 14, or I guess number 15. Number 16, how many hours would you say you spend sourcing every week? Every week, well, the answer is going to be different during garage sale season. And now in Montana, it's not garage sale season yet. We've had a few here and there. This last weekend, I think I hit 4. That was the most I've hit all year. One of them was an estate sale. But it's really, right now we're in the 30s and 40s. So in a few weeks, we'll enter garage sale season. And during that, I will leave at 6 o'clock on a Saturday and get back at noon or 1 o'clock. That's a good chunk of time, right? That's a full day, because then you're coming back and listing it and that sort of thing. So that's going to bump the numbers quite a bit. But otherwise, actively, I hit a thrift store once a week, maybe twice a week. So non-garage sale season, couple hours of sourcing, maybe. During garage sale season, let's just say 10. I don't know. Number 17, how many hours would you say you spend listing every week? This one's hard because I list when I can. I take pictures of stuff. I start drafts. I would say, I'd probably spend, if I'm being good about it, an hour a day cleaning or researching. I'll count the research in it because that's part of listing, right? Maybe an hour a day, if that. A lot of times I bet it's closer to, half hour, 45 minutes. I try to list somewhere between 3 and 5 items a day. Or sometimes I look at it for the value that I'm listing. If I listed one thing that's worth $150, I might be good for the day, I don't really keep track of that. So let's just say 1 hour a day. So, a little bit more on the weekends. Let's call it 10 hours a week of listing. If you listen to podcasts, what reseller podcasts are your top recommendations? I don't listen to podcasts that much. I tend to watch or listen to YouTube videos while I'm doing stuff. But Pure Hustle Podcast, that is one that I would absolutely recommend. I also watch them on YouTube. Their YouTube show is their podcast. Their podcast is their YouTube show. So, that's the one that's in my rotation. I would throw out those guys. I think it's a good mix of part-time, full-time. They have experience. doing this, doing RA, doing garage sales. There's a good mix in there. So I think that is a good one to listen to. Number 19, what is your goal or goals to have accomplished by the end of 2021 for your business? Well, like I said, I'd like to be able to pay off the last of our student loans. We paid off one more of them today, actually, which is awesome. I don't know if we're going to get there, especially with the car in the mix. So for sure, I'd like to have the car paid off, the new car. That'd be pretty incredible to be able to bring a car home from a car. I mean, it's not new. It's a 2013. It's my new thrifting machine. But it's still, I mean, it's still pretty new, and it's a significant outlay for money. And so it'd be neat to be able to pick that up in the middle of the year and by the end of the year have it paid off. I think that would be cool. I'd like to, we took a big jump. We made about a third more than we did last year, this year, or, 2 years ago to last year, just finished doing the taxes. It'd be really cool to hit that 6-digit gross sales. I know gross sales don't necessarily mean anything, but it's a good metric to watch that climb. So we moved from, low 40s to low 70s. It'd be cool to see us jump into those 6-digit numbers. I think it's coming. The more I learn, the better I get at this. But yeah, I guess that's a wibbly wobbly answer, but it's an answer. Number 20, what do you think your business will look like in 5 years? 5 years. It's a long time. But maybe by that point, this will be a full-time thing. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I mean, I'm taking it, I worked in sports for a very long time, writing for the newspaper. And so I've got all of those cliches. I mean, we're just going to take it a day at a time and focus on the task at hand. And I just want to be the best reseller that I can be. I want to be better tomorrow than I am today. See, I can throw out a whole lot of these. I've talked to a lot of athletes. So I don't really have a good answer for that one other than maybe I'm introducing myself as a full-time reseller by that point. So that's the Ask Me 20, guys. And we pushed just a little past 20 minutes. So we're going to cut this thing off because the video got a little bit long, but I appreciate it. Jenn, thank you so much for inviting me to do this. If you're not tagged below, if you weren't part of this original thing, do it anyway. I mean, a lot of folks that have YouTube channels, I'd love to see you do the Ask Me 20. So let me know if you've got a YouTube channel and you want to do it. Leave it in the comments down below, and that way we can send people over to your channel as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. That's the Ask Me 20. If you've got any comments, got any questions, you can comment down below, or my contact information is in the description as well. Love getting emails from folks. I've been emailing several people about international shipping lately, which I think is cool. I've heard from some folks saying, hey, I'm doing it now. I've made my first sale. This is awesome. So if you've got international shipping questions, I'm more than willing to chat with you about those. Anything I can do to help your business grow. That's why I'm doing this, is because I want to help other people grow their business, like YouTubers before me and folks that I still watch helped me and continue to help me. I think we can help each other. There's plenty out there for everybody. I'm not giving out all the secrets. I'm not killing reselling. I'm helping resellers. And so that's what I like to do. Hit the thumb on your way out. That helps me a ton. And we're going to cut this thing off. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.